Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled at the foot of a majestic mountain, lived a young man named Kaito. Kaito was known throughout the village for his laziness. While the other villagers labored diligently in the fields and workshops, Kaito would spend his days lying under the shade of a sprawling oak tree, lost in his daydreams and slumber. One fateful day, a wise old monk named Hiroshi visited the village. Hiroshi, with his serene presence and knowing eyes, approached Kaito and called him over. "My son," Hiroshi said gently, "I have a task for you. I want you to climb to the top of that mountain and bring back a single feather from the highest peak." Kaito glanced up at the towering mountain and scoffed. "That's impossible," he said, his voice tinged with disbelief. "I'm far too lazy to climb all the way up there." Hiroshi smiled kindly and said, But you see, the feather I seek is not on the mountain itself. It is on the other side of the mountain, in a hidden cave that can only be reached by climbing to the top and descending the other side." A spark of curiosity flickered in Kaito's eyes. The thought of such a unique task intrigued him, and for the first time in a long while, he felt a stir of excitement. And so, with a mix of trepidation and determination, Kaito decided to take up the monk's challenge. The climb was long and arduous. Kaito's legs burned, and his breath came in ragged gasps. Sweat trickled down his face, but with each step, he felt a growing sense of exhilaration. As he climbed higher and higher, the world below seemed to shrink away, and for the first time, he felt truly alive. When he finally reached the summit, Kaito collapsed, exhausted but triumphant. He gazed out at the breathtaking panorama, the village below, the endless sky above, and felt a profound sense of accomplishment. Tears welled up in his eyes, a mix of joy and disbelief. But the real challenge lay ahead. The descent down the other side of the mountain was even more treacherous. Kaito slipped and stumbled, his body bruised and battered. Each fall tested his resolve, but the promise of the feather kept him going. He could see it in his mind, shining like a beacon of hope. After what felt like an eternity, Kaito reached the cave. There, in a shaft of sunlight, lay the feather, delicate and beautiful. He picked it up, his hands trembling, and held it close, marveling at its ethereal beauty. But as the reality of his situation dawned on him, he realized he had to make the journey back. For a moment, despair washed over him. How could he possibly climb back up the mountain? But then he remembered the sense of accomplishment and pride he had felt at the summit. He knew he had the strength and determination to do it again. With renewed resolve, Kaito began the ascent. His muscles ached and his lungs burned, but he pushed on. Each step was a testament to his newfound willpower. The thought of the villagers, the wise monk, and the lesson he was learning fueled his determination. When Kaito finally reached the summit once more, he stood there, the feather clutched in his hand, and let out a triumphant cry. Tears streamed down his face as he made his way back down to the village, his heart bursting with pride. Upon his return, Hiroshi greeted him with a warm smile. "Well done, my son," the monk said, his voice filled with pride. "You have learned an important lesson today. Laziness is not something to be accepted or tolerated. It is a challenge to be overcome, a hurdle to be leaped over." Kaito nodded, tears still glistening in his eyes. He realized that he had always been capable of great things, but his laziness had held him back. Now he knew that he had the strength and determination to overcome any obstacle. The monk's challenge had taught Kaito that laziness is a barrier to be broken. When we push ourselves to achieve our goals, even when they seem impossible, we uncover a strength and resilience within us that we never knew existed. To overcome laziness, we must set ambitious goals and push ourselves beyond our limits. We must cultivate discipline and consistency in our daily habits. By adhering to a schedule, we build good habits that keep us focused and productive, even on days when motivation wanes. Moreover, embracing a growth mindset is crucial. Viewing challenges and failures as opportunities for growth and learning rather than as reasons to give up allows us to use setbacks as catalysts for improvement. Ultimately, overcoming laziness requires stepping out of our comfort zones and embracing the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. And in doing so, we discover the true depth of our potential and the boundless strength within our hearts. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more inspiring tales, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Buddha Stories.